Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Three and Out. So, fellas, Drew and Brandon, just the two of us today, with some breaking news in the EA Sports College Football 25 world. We've been hearing some buzz all morning, and shout out to Matt Brown, who's released a article, and he's played the game, and is not leaked, but has given us quite a bit of information on this game that we have a little bit so far. We have a trailer. That's really about it in the covers. So excited to get into it. I have the article pulled up here. Like I said before, props to Matt Brown. I'm going to read off my phone. I couldn't get it on the computer. But a lot of big talking points before we get into it. Drew, we excited?
Yeah, man. No, I mean, it's funny. Like we're hungry. We're thirsty for this game. It's like we heard the buzz this morning, and I was like, so are we going to see any actual gameplay? Are we can do this, that, and the other? But I mean, even just an article, just confirming what we were hoping, that it's not a Madden reskin, and then amongst the other things that he has to say, is definitely soothing to the soul.
Yeah.
So
for sure. And I think my biggest fear, among other people, as you just said, was it would just be a reskin of Madden. You know, that'd be the easiest way to go about it, the cheapest for EA. But it seems like they really have sunk their teeth into the college football world. Obviously, you know, having done this before, but coming back, 10 years later, it's a completely different game in college football. So I'm excited to see what we have in this article. I'm just going to hit the high points. I'll include a link to the article in the bio if you want to go read the whole thing yourself. We're not just going to sit here and read word for word, but what I'm most excited about here is he did play the game, actually. So we have a bit of a description on the gameplay itself, which I think has been the most sought-after information so far, the next biggest piece that we don't have yet. So getting into it, I'm just going to read some big points and we'll talk about it. One thing he had to say was, this game is an absolute love letter to college football fans by college football fans. And from presentation to feature set to gameplay, it is not a reskinned version of Madden. It seems that he's being very sure to emphasize that that's not the case, which is reassuring. Nobody wants that.
He also reassured that he's not getting any money from EA for this. They didn't pay for his travel to Florida. They didn't pay for his food. They didn't pay for his hotel. So I think he's trying to prove a point that he is not an EA employee or benefiting from this in any way, shape, or form. He's trying to be an independent observer. Yeah. No, I like that a lot. This is good to hear. Getting a little bit into the gameplay, he's written quite a bit about it. So like I said, if you want to read the whole thing, feel free to go read the article. We're not going to read it word for word. But one thing that sticks out to me here is he talks about the passing system and how it feels different, and how you're not able to hold down the right passing icon and just rifle the ball into the open receiver. The pass velocity and angle matter substantially, meaning it's harder to just sprint out of the pocket and cheese a bullet pass around your body to the other side of the field, which is a big thing in Madden. Yeah.
If you have a somewhat athletic quarterback, you run out of the pocket, beat the edge defender, and you have a few seconds to make a decision. But it seems like this might be a little more oriented to, actually making reads in the pocket, which would be good, Yeah,
nothing is more frustrating when you have, when you're playing the Ravens and you've got Lamar dead to rights, and all of a sudden, he just is able to roll out to the right and find, a receiver you've never even heard of coming across the middle and make a toe tap catch for a touchdown or a first down or whatever.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So that's good to hear that it's a little more oriented to some more skill in that aspect. One thing that really stuck out to me while skimming through this was they made sure to kind of emphasize the gap between professional and college players. And he goes on to say, you notice those differences when playing the game, and then the developers told him that it was designed purposefully. So, for example, if you have a team like Ohio State with more upperclassmen, that matters, and they're not going to be – and how they play on the field is affected by I guess whether they're an upperclassman or if they have experience, which I think is pretty cool. Because in a game like Madden, I don't know how much it really matters if it's even coded in the game at all. If you have,
Veteran.
say a rookie or a veteran, if their stats are the same, I don't know really how much is going into them playing differently.
It's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. So
I'm interested to see how that'll kind of manifest itself in the gameplay. I mean, he talks about making a few bad decisions, throwing downfield, and getting bailed out by a receiver just because of the talent level between the two teams is so much different, which is interesting to me. That'd be good in scenarios where you have the favorable matchup. Your team is more experienced and better. But it'll definitely make things tougher on the other end for a lot of people who are trying to rebuild these smaller teams. It seems like you're going to have to be a little bit extra careful when making those decisions if you're, UT Martin playing Georgia, that kind of thing, Let's see. What else? I want to see more about maybe the stadium designs or the in-game unique things to each college. I know the trailer showed a lot of that, and I'm really excited to get my hands on the game. Not even fully just to play it, but just to look around at it. I want to go boot up a game, see the opening scenes.
Just have to see
customize
see play each other. Watch a game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at the snippet that I think Noah sent.
Oh yeah, I don't think those are in this. You can go off of those too.
Yeah, just to further what has happened in recent developments. Apparently, players can coach up to 30 seasons. So I guess that's about right because even Nick Saban was done after 20 years. So up to 30 seasons, you're getting into the Joe Paternos of the world. And then dynasties, this is really cool. I think this is great. Dynasties can have up to 32 users in both online and offline dynasties.
That's sick.
The only sad thing there, and it's been confirmed for a while, but online dynasty mode does not have crossplay capability. I forgot who I was talking about with this, but if that was the one thing that was holding up in college football 25 from being released, I'm glad they went ahead and pulled the trigger because that is I don't know, I'm not going to call it an easy fix, but if that's the primary thing that you need to focus on for college football 26, that just gives us one more thing to look forward to.
For sure.
And that may not even be the case. It could be a patch update, mid-season.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Madden does that all the time.
Yeah. I will say,
and then you can schedule non-conference games up to so many years in the future. We can't create new conferences from scratch, but we can build the Pac-12 back up to what we.
We're bringing them back.
Yep. Week 0 is now a thing. Damn. Ireland is not an option. That sucks.
We needed Ireland DLC. Come on. Let's get it. Let's run it.
Yes. And then there are... So I think they said that FCS teams were not going to be in the game, but it looks like there will be generic FCS directional programs.
Yeah. And that could also be I saw some rumblings about, I don't know if there's any merit to it, but that being a DLC or an add-on package, later on in the year, you could always tack that on. You know?
Yeah. That makes sense for scheduling purposes because, that's just how college football goes sometimes. You got the big boys that need a week off without actually taking the week off. But you can be a head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, nothing crazy. No real coaches are going to be in the game.
Huh. I guess that's fair.
Yeah. It's funny because Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, he's like, y'all can have my name, image, and likeness for free.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we're not going to do that.
I don't think, thinking back to the old NCAAs, I don't think they ever had coaches in there. So
No,
that makes
no,
sense. I mean, I can maybe see it in the future, but I feel like it's a little more complicated when talking about payout for coaches than
coach,
players.
yeah, yeah.
There's so
'Cause there-
few of them as compared to players, and then you get into that. It's
There's
just
no
not
way
really
you
impacting
can get
anything.
all the coaches to agree on the same number.
Well, yeah, and thinking about it from like the perspective of somebody playing the game, you are the coach, right?
Right.
So you don't really need that in there.
I don't want to be Kirby Smart. I love Kirby Smart, but
Yeah.
I'd rather have me on the sidelines.
Hmm. Yeah,
But yeah,
For
in
sure.
your dynasty mode, you can pick your backstory just like you can in Madden. You can either be a motivator, a recruiter, or a tactician, and then you can build out your skill trees. So that's about all I've got. And then the last thing is you can manage your coordinators, and you can fire and hire as you see fit. Just like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's very Madden-esque, but that's
Yeah.
still something cool.
hmm No, I like it. I mean, I think my big takeaways, gameplay wise, are it seems to be trending toward a similar path that it used to be, except probably a lot more customizable and a lot more detail. I'll be interested to see with that blurb about the passing system how that is. If it's a meter or if it's just how in Madden you can kind of tap it or hold it for a bullet pass, if they're going to keep those mechanics in the passing or if they've
Yeah.
fully overhauled it. They don't really get into that in the article.
I don't know if you've played Madden 24, but now there is like a meter that
I have
is the-
played Madden 24. I saw
Okay.
that option at the beginning and I did not
Yeah.
select it because
Yeah,
I was like,
it-
I'm not
it's-
going to do that.
It's tough, dude. It's tough.
Yeah.
It follows the same principles. Like you hold it down, it's a bullet pass. You tap it, it's a lob. But like it's more timing oriented. So I'm curious if it's going to be different than that, the same, because that's really hard. I'm not going to lie. I have trouble passing the ball. Well, I mean, it's a video game, but like I'm putting up realistic numbers. I'm not putting up video game numbers through the
Yeah.
air. I really hope that like running the ball in college football 25 is going to be more of a staple, because there are people in Madden that have found way more success through the air rather than on the ground. So they just do it that way. I'm like, that's just not realistic, but okay.
Yeah, and I think that would be a little more suited towards the college game because, obviously, a lot more teams have success on the ground in college than the NFL. I mean, not to say that there's no teams in the NFL that have a successful ground game, but really in today's NFL, if you don't have a solid air attack, you're not making that much noise.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see. And he mentioned some about the running game, mostly about the option and how it like varies from team to team. And from what I've heard, there's like 132 different ways to play the game is what they've touted. 132 different playbooks, customizable to every team. So it seems like a lot of legwork has been put into this. And I think my biggest thing to remember here is this will be the worst version of this game moving forward, right? They're going to have nothing but time to build on top of it and get feedback. And hopefully at EA, they'll do that. They'll listen. They'll implement things that need to be done, not go down the same path as Madden, because if they screw this up, I think they might be in trouble.
Yeah. I don't know if people will it won't be like an official like boycott, but like
No, but
you're gonna lose a lot of faith from a lot of people if they don't
Yeah.
get this right.
Yeah, and especially with such a beloved game that's had such a hiatus, finally making its return, there's definitely high expectations. So we'll see if they meet them, but I think that puts a nice little bow on it. So yeah, it's the official release date, correct me if I'm wrong, is July 19th, and then you get it 3 days early if you spend $30 extra, I believe. So $10 a day to play it, 3 days early. But yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I can't wait to get my hands on a copy of this game. Counting down the days. It's only a couple months away, less than 2 months away at this point.
Yep.
So
not far at all. We're like 7 weeks at this point. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's crazy. Just dog days of the summer. No, it's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing, throwing us a like. We are keeping you up to date on all of the EA College Football 25 news that comes our way, no matter how little. We're desperate for any news at this point in the offseason for college football. We're hungry. We want more. So yeah, stick around to see more of that. Let us know in the comments what you think about this, if you've read the article or based on what we said, what your first impressions are on this information for the game, and what you're most looking forward to in it. And also let us know any other ideas for videos that you'd like to see this offseason. We're doing it all, so your feedback is more than welcomed. But we appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next one.